Hello everyone, good morning and happy Wednesday to you all. I am excited to be here with you. It's Wellness Wednesday on the Muscatine Today show. Excited to have Scott here as a guest today on the show to show you some exercises that you can maybe do at home, or you could come to Impact Athletic Performance and you could join us in some classes. That would be super fun. But first, I want to always say thank you to our great sponsors. Today I have a special co-host with me this morning. How is it being off school so far? Summer break started.
Pretty good.
Pretty good so far. Have you done anything fun so far?
Yeah.
What have you done so far to kick off summer break?
Play video games and go to my friend's house. Mostly.
Play video games, go to friends' houses.
To the Maker's Market.
Oh yeah, Maker's Market too.
Good Maker's Market. Did you see the llamas?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, the llamas are the bomb. So, did you like the llamas? What was your favorite part about the Good Maker's Market?
I don't know.
Was it the llamas, the music, the food, all the stuff?
Probably the llamas, but like when we were taking the picture, it looked like his eye was just like staring down at me. I was like...
He was like creeping you out a little bit?
Yeah, I was like, hi.
Like, what are you doing, dude? The llamas are definitely a crowd pleaser for sure.
Yes.
So he's had a good summer break. Hopefully you guys are getting off to a good start with your summer breaks as well. I kicked off the softball games last night with my Miss Hanley J. It was a tough game, Wyatt. It was a tough game.
What was the score for it?
It was 0-1. Wow. Yeah. Whew. It was tough, but they played really good last night. So that's going to be our summer is playing softball.
That's my teacher's summer too.
Yeah.
She coaches her daughter's team and a varsity team.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think coaching Hanley's team's a lot. Coaching two teams would be even more. Holy cow.
Yeah.
So, as always, we like to thank our sponsors because without them, we wouldn't be able to bring you all the great guests that we do. And today, my co-host is going to tell you who all our great sponsors are. So, Wyatt, take it over.
Thank you to our sponsors, which are R7 Reclaimed, Luther Living Center, CBI, Toyota Muscatine, Impact Athletic Performance, Suntan City, Unity Point Health, Trinity Muscatine, and Hy-Vee Muscatine.
Yes, he did so awesome. Gosh. You know, I wanted to... Oh gosh, Chris is back there. I give credit to Melissa for this great kid. What do you think? Your mom, definitely give credit to your mom. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Melissa, shout out for making your kid so smart and such a great co-host on the show. Thanks for your help this morning. Are you going to come do it again this summer?
Probably.
Probably, yeah. He's trying to take my job, is what's happening here. Slowly, he's creeping his way in, and pretty soon it's going to be the Muscatine Today show with Wyatt. Ha, crap. Well, today, like I said, it is Wellness Wednesday on the Muscatine Today show, and we are excited to get started. So we will roll the Wellness Wednesday intro, and when we get back, Scott will be joining us. He will be showing us some exercises that we can do with some sandbags and get ourselves in all tuned up and ready for summer so that we have some summer bods and so that we can be healthy. So we will be right back after our intro to Wellness Wednesday.
We just don't work out in a single plane of motion.
So, excited again to be here on a Wellness Wednesday. Scott is joining us this week to show us a little bit of that physical exercise, the physical side of Impact. And I'm excited to show you guys some of the things that we do at Impact to really strengthen our bodies and get in shape for summer, because it's like Memorial Day is like kickoff of summer, right?
The official kickoff,
it's the official kickoff.
Yes.
So we are definitely getting ready for that. So where are we going to start today?
So where I want to go today is we look through the 7 primal movements of what we do as humans. And so what we have hinges, squats, rotating, pushing, pulling, lunging. I think there were 7 there. That was really quick.
Woo! You just list those off so quick now.
I've already been up so early this morning. And so what we're going to talk about today is the hinge.
Yep.
How it differs a little bit from the squat. And we'll have you demo some things and really look at we're going to dive into some untraditional workouts to actually make our deadlift better. Meaning, we're not going to make our deadlift better just by deadlifting.
Yep.
So, we'll talk about the hinge. That's the main focus. And really help people understand how that hinge movement is effective for their life.
Yep. Cool. Well, let's get going.
All right. So, if you were to ask probably anybody here, ask Wyatt, or yourself, as far as what's the description of a hinge? What's the description of a squat? Matter of fact, one of our athletes just went by right now out of our 8 o'clock class. However many people are in this cafe, probably however many people are in Hy-Vee, it will probably give you a different description of what a squat and what a hinge is. And so, as I mentioned earlier, we're quick to assume that the best way to get a good deadlift is to practice the deadlift.
Sure.
And that's a little bit of a teaser, because we're going to show you one way to be able to make your deadlift better without doing a deadlift, and that'll be a little bit later on.
Okay.
And what is the true purpose of the hinge? Why do we want to hinge? And there again, where exactly does the deadlift fall into that much bigger picture of fitness?
Sure.
So let me ask a question. I'll ask you guys out in the Hy-Vee community. Do we need a great squat so that we can sit on the toilet? Think about this. Do we need a great squat?
I mean,
I have a probably.
Wyatt says probably.
Okay.
I say, I guess you could kind of just flop down, but I'd say yes.
Okay, so if we need a great squat, then it's almost asking, why do we have to squat 300 pounds? So by saying that, it doesn't really relate. Our good friend Corey Kripe from Fitness Lying Down up in La Crosse, Wisconsin, he was just in a few weeks ago for the Ultimate Sandbag Workshop.
Yep.
And the way he also talks about it is, squatting 300 pounds but using a toilet doesn't really equate.
Right.
So where his philosophy is, and where ours is at Impact as well, is squatting is more mobility.
Yeah.
So let's take the actual toilet out of the scene, and if it's a very rural area, or if it's a third world country, and you have a hole in the ground, does a 300-pound squat really do anything? No,
right.
It's more mobility.
Yep.
So that's where we want to get into. And I think right now we can take some time, and I want to be able to show you and show the crowd what the difference between a squat and a hinge. Now, remember, today's show is all about the hinge, but we want to show the differences.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure.
All right, so we're going to move our sandbag out of the way for right now.
Okay.
I want you to perform a squat.
Okay.
And so what we look for in the squat is that the knees track over the feet, and then the torso remains upright. So let's go ahead and do a squat. And back up. And let's do 2 more. So if you're able to see, the knees come forward. I'm going to actually have you face that way. So if we're able to see her knees as she squats, the torso remains up and the knees track over the feet, which is absolutely proper. We're going to work on your squat depth, by the way, here.
Oh, okay. We want to go
not
right
today.
now?
No, maybe not today.
Okay.
Now, I want you to do a hinge. Now, what we look for the hinge, as I mentioned in the squat, the chest is upright, knees track over the feet. Now, the hinge is going to be a little bit different. We look at the lower leg from the feet up into the knee. This stays vertical, and now our torso becomes more angled. So I know you're gonna hold an invisible sandbag here. Yep, and then come up, and then I want the eyes a little bit down. There we go. And so really we look for ears, elbow, or ears, shoulder, hip, but you can see the lower leg. And then go ahead and stand tall. And back down again one more time. So you can see the difference. There is a huge difference between our squat and between our hinge. If you watch kids try to pick something up, if it becomes heavy, are they actually going to try to get underneath it and squat? No, more than likely they're going to hinge.
Sure.
So let's go back to our question of, do we need a great squat for, to use the bathroom, to go to the toilet? Hang right here. I'm going to grab this chair. So let's see you sit into the chair. Oh my gosh, that's a hinge. Wow. Did you squat? Mm-mm. Did you sit down like this? No, absolutely not. And then stand up. And so there again, I mean, maybe a little bit knees forward, but this is a hinge. And so this is what we're getting to in regards to the big difference between... Oh, I'm down.
Microphone down.
Microphone down.
Stick it back in.
Technical difficulty.
There we go.
All right, I'm back
And
up.
we're back.
This came off. All right. So there again, in the squat, we look for the more upright torso and angled shins, knees tracking over the toes. Hip hinge, more of an angled torso and vertical shins.
Yeah.
That hip hinge is what we need for deadlifts. And, but when we look beyond what the hinge can do, a hinge is just not needed for deadlifts. We can do kettlebell swings. We can clean our sandbag or clean any equipment off the ground. That's also using a hinge as well. So I don't want to say that the hinge is solely used for the deadlift. There's multiple applications, and when we get into the real world, that's where we get into problems, especially in form that we expect something to be very, very light, but then all of a sudden it gets super heavy and we have bad form. So we're hopefully here in a little bit we are going to talk about, and we're going to add the sandbag to our hinge and to our deadlift, but we're also going to talk about where are the connections for the deadlift. And like I said, that's a little bit of a teaser for later on. It's not a movement where you think we would normally do. Like I said earlier, we can't really deadlift more and more and more if we don't have the proper muscle groups working appropriately.
Right.
Because that also gets into when the body is not working properly, we get into low back pain. Who's ever deadlifted before? I mean, I don't even worry so much about deadlifting. It's the chairborne rangers. Sean in our golf performance class, he coined that phrase. What do? We sit all day. And so we can get this low back pain. And it's basically because our hips and our thoracic spine aren't playing properly. But when somebody hurts their back, all of a sudden they're afraid to do a deadlift.
Yeah.
And so, but when we can get the proper muscle groups going, then that's where we can bring confidence into that person to deadlift properly.
Sure.
I was gonna wait for this example later on in our discussion. Just finished up personal training with a gentleman, 70 years old. Very athletic, but and works out, and I put that in air quotes, a lot of body weight movement. Before coming to me, he hadn't deadlifted in 7 or 8 years. Why? Because he hurt his back last time he was deadlifting. He was in construction, so just not proper lifting techniques.
Sure.
We went through the progressions of getting the muscle groups active, and he actually ended up deadlifting. We have a trap bar, which is a little different than the sandbags. But all of a sudden, he was deadlifting 125 pounds with ease, and 125 pounds doesn't sound like much, but when you're looking at someone who has had low back pain and is afraid to deadlift, that's a huge effort to be able to do that. And he texted me that night. He goes, "Scott, I still feel great. Next morning, I still feel great." And so giving him the confidence to be able to move on was exactly the result that we were looking for.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So let's see. I want to make sure I do have my notes here. I want to make sure I'm getting everything correctly relayed to everybody.
Yep.
Screening criteria. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
So when you came to us, not only on the nutrition portion of it, but on I want to get back out working out again. It's been 3 years with your journey. We did our movement screening, and one of them is in regards to our hips. We look at hips, we look at glutes, can you hinge, etc. And so what that does, it helps me as a coach and an owner. I feel terrible if anybody ever gets hurt working out and doing any of our workouts. And especially if I'm cueing them correctly and something's just not there. But it's also for your benefit. You know, we looked at stability. How was your stability? Well, not as well as you thought it would be.
Right.
But when it comes to our screening of the hips, I'm going to have you stand up again. And so one of the things that we look for is, where am I looking now? Where am I looking at you?
All right.
All right, good. So, are we good? All right. So one of the things that we are looking for in our screening criteria of the hips are hip tucks. We have to have the ability to find neutral in our hips. Far too often, and I'll demonstrate this, we see people that are here, they're working through the lower back. And as soon as you begin to lift something here, or pull or press anything overhead, the strain on the low back, our low back is not built for strength. The big booty muscles are the ones that are supposed to be carrying the load. This quadratus lumborum, back here, the QL, that's just so we don't flop over front to back, side to side. It's the booty. So what I'm going to have you do is we're going to do our hip tucks that we do on our screening. So you've played a little golf before, and so
I don't know if I'd actually.
So we're going to get into what we call a 5-iron stance. So a little flex in the knees. I want to have you cross your hands, and from there, I want you to be able to tuck the hips under. And then there's our anterior tilt, and then tuck underneath, and that's called posterior tilt. Anterior and posterior. So what happens is that we need to be able to find neutral. So if you do that enough, your brain processes, okay, this is neutral. Where we run into some problems potentially is we can go into anterior tilt. So, now if you don't have the ability to tuck underneath, you're never going to find neutral, and so you're always going to be lifting in this very, very vulnerable position, and so that's what we look at. Couple things going on. It can be the glutes. It can be our hip flexors, extremely tight through here, not allowing the hips to move properly. So now that we have been able to do that, and we've said, okay, and I'm not gonna be here to say it has to be 15 degrees this way, 15 degrees that way. I want to be able to see movement. So now what I'm going to do is bring the bag in. We still get in frame?
Okay, we're over here now.
Oh, over here? Okay,
Oh.
perfect. New setup, new cameras. Okay.
Yes.
Let's have you step back a little bit more and then bring the bag over. There you go. So, when we start looking at the deadlift, our proper hinge, we look to have, there again, the knee down to the foot as a very structured unit. There's no flex. It stays vertical. So I'm going to have you hinge over. The way we talk about the deadlift, especially with the sandbags, because of the neutral handles here, it allows us to put the shoulders in a better position. So what we do, strong grip here. So we're putting about 20 to 30% grip in this handle. Now we're actually, let's get a little straighter there, and we're gonna pull those handles apart. So if you saw Ashley's back and then just relax a little bit, so we get this rounding here. As soon as we pull the handles apart, the back flattens. We begin to engage the lats. And so from that point, we pull vertically, and with the feet, we're actually trying to push the ground away. So then we stand tall. So go ahead. Yep. And that's a very good deadlift. And so then we clear the hips and we go back down. Let's go again. So all the work is coming through our glutes, through the hips, nothing through the back. I was guilty of that when I first started working out. I want to do all these reps. I want to do all this weight. But when I was not working through the proper muscle groups, this low back, it basically went and just seized up, and it scared me, and I couldn't work out anymore. So I had to take a little time off. And let's go ahead and lower the bag one more time. So that's what we look for. And because this is not a barbell, this is not a 7-foot barbell, when we grab that barbell, it's a little more difficult to find that good connection into the lats. And with the neutral handles, the way we have it with the sandbag, that makes our deadlift that much better.
Yeah.
I can tell you, since I started Impact, I didn't do any deadlifting other than through the sandbag. Learning how to be able to use the feet, be able to activate the glutes properly. And beginning of this year, I lifted more than I ever have, and I don't even practice deadlifting anymore, other than what we do with the sandbag. So the ability to train your body to work properly, you can begin to increase loads as you need.
Yeah.
So let's see. I think we can come back here for right now.
Okay.
So what did we do? We talked about our hip tucks. Why that's important to be able to find neutral. If I put your back in a compromising position, you're going to lift through that low back, and that is not a good thing.
Right.
You'll know that immediately. You'll do it once, and you'll go, okay, I'm not going to do this ever again.
Yep.
And you know, as we start wrapping this up, I was kidding around with some of our athletes in our 530 class. They were going to say that they were challenging me that I wasn't going to say that you need this perfect booty to be able to deadlift.
Yeah.
If you do not have the strength through the booty, you're not going to be able to properly deadlift the way that you need.
It's all about the booty.
It's all about the booty.
It's all about the booty.
One of the most popular movements that you'll see, whether it's at the Y, maybe at Anytime Fitness. I don't know what people do over there.
Yeah.
But I've seen it at the Y is a common one called a hip thrust. And so I think you've seen this to where you're basically creating a tabletop. Your shoulders are on a bench. You have this bar right on your hips, and you are doing these hip thrusts. I'm not going to say...
Just say it.
It's not the best in the world. We don't work the glutes in isolation.
Yeah.
So, I want to be able to put you on the ground over here, and I'm going to show you how we can begin to make a better deadlift for you without even doing a deadlift.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So, what we want to do is we want to engage the lats back in here, and I'm going to have you, I'm going to have you perfect here. So anatomy trains, right lat works down through into the left glute. Left works down into the right glute. So that's how we like to train at impact, making sure we're strong here. Not a lot of work through the shoulders. Let's use these powerhouse muscles that do this. So hopefully we can get you in a comfortable position on the ground.
Okay. I feel like I should have worn my TikTok leggings today. We're talking about my booty all day, and this would have been the perfect day for that. Okay.
So what we're going to do, and I'm going to have you all the way back.
You want me to be this way or this way?
I think right there is fine.
Okay.
Does that work? Perfect. Yep, I see it.
Okay.
Yep. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a hip bridge.
Okay.
Our goal is for a better deadlift is that we're going to get the glutes and the lats working together. And we can do a variety of different ones. We can do single leg hip, and these are called hip bridges, but they work the glute. So what I want you to do is I want you to bring the toe, the heels up as far as you're able. Yep.
I'm going to take my flip-flops off.
There you go. There you go. This is no flip-flop. This is Barefoot Wednesday.
Yep.
We barefoot train all the time, so this is going to be Barefoot Wednesday. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have her tuck the hips underneath, so the back is now flat. And now you begin to elevate all the way through here. And hands are going to be just to the side. So this glute, this hip bridge helps us, one, not only define and get the glute stronger, but also we can add a smaller core bag, our 10-pound bag. So let's bring the hands all the way up vertically. If we had a sandbag here, and shame on me, I forgot to bring it, but what we can do is that we can do some movements here, and what it does, and you can come on back up, that what it does, it trains the lats and the glutes, and also it trains your core to be strong. And that's what we need for a deadlift. So there again, with my personal training client, 70 years old, didn't want to ever deadlift, didn't want to do that. We trained properly, got the glutes, got the core, got the lats, got all this working in concert. He ripped off some deadlifts, and he probably was the happiest that he'd been in a long, long while working out. So, you know, and it gets back to our hinge. So, for sitting down, for being on the toilet, is a squat, is doing a 300-pound squat going to make you a better person to be able to sit on the toilet?
No.
Why not? But that hinge, is going to be key. We want good hip health. And
it's super important to start that as soon as you can, like just having that good mobility, and because you don't realize how quickly you lose it. I mean, when we were in my first session together, when we were working on, like, you know, that first initial time that we met, and you were kind of going through all those movements with me, I was very surprised. Like, even though it had only been, you know, like, I say only, but 3 years is a long time, but through my surgeries and stuff, it'd been like 3 years since I'd really worked out. And I was surprised at how much mobility and stability I had lost in that time. I had no idea, you know. So I think it's important for everybody to realize that it's not like something you work on when you get older.
Right.
You know, it's something you need to continue to work on so that when you are older, you're not, you know, having all those issues where you're, you know, hunched over and your back's, you know, always hurting, and you're having all of those issues. Now is actually the time when you need to work on it so that you never get to that point.
Absolutely, yeah. And where we are at Impact, what we believe, one of our philosophy is the fact that we take we choose to have better movement principles. We care more about movement than what you can max out. Have zero interest what you can squat, what you can deadlift, if you're not moving properly. If you're trying to get as many reps as you can in a certain amount of time just because because you can, but you're moving like crap, then let's take a step back.
Right.
And so we'll never let you do that. I mean, you the ability of a 7-foot bar when you have the weights out here, and then a fully loaded, whether it's 60, 80, 90, or 100-pound sandbag, is a huge difference. And I don't think people realize that.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, going back to what you said about, number of reps and things, this isn't about the hinge, but when I first started, I'm trying to do push-ups, and I could not do push-ups, but I would try to do them the wrong way to get more, and they caught me, and they're like, listen, just slow it down. And so there were several times when we'd call out, when we were doing the challenge for last month, but that I'd be in single digits. But eventually, you guys had me doing them the right way, and I started, getting those numbers up the right way, and it felt a lot better, and I wasn't, in pain after class.
Well, yeah, we like to have
kind of pain.
We like to have your muscles sing after class, not scream.
Right.
And so, and that's it. So our body loves to compensate.
Yep.
If we have a bad right shoulder, generally our left hip will start to compensate. We've had plenty of people. Started a brand new athlete today. She had bilateral surgery and had plates and rods in her feet, and she was able to lunge. She was thankful she was working out barefoot, and she was thankful that she was able to just get into a lunge. She was extremely worried about that.
Yeah.
But being able to say, to do it correctly with 2 or 3 cues, and to be able to step back into the lunge, you just see this wonderful expression. Oh my gosh, I did it. I'm not in pain. So, and that's what it's all about.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. So I think every Wednesday that Scott joins us, we're going to learn a little bit more about those movements, those key movements that we need to focus on, and we'll teach you more things that you can do at home, or you can come hang out with us at Impact.
Absolutely.
We love that.
Yeah, free first class. We do a free movement assessment. We also tag along our nutrition assessment on that with us, but the movement, even if you don't do anything, find out how you move.
Yep.
You talked about mobility and stability. We can be the most mobile people in the world, but if you don't have stability in that mobility, then how can we improve that? And so this is the first of our 7 primal movement discussions.
Yep.
We think hinges is one of the most important ones.
Yeah.
We'll talk in 4 weeks about squatting.
Yep. And I'll be a lot deeper by then.
Yes,
my depth will be better for you all.
Well, truth be told, you've been sitting down for at least half hour, 45 minutes prior to me getting here. You're not warmed up.
Yep.
But
he's making excuses for me a little bit.
Well, I'm helping you out a little bit.
You.
After the 3rd rep, you were getting a little deeper. But so I'm excited about this.
Yep.
Talking about squats and talking about everything we do at Impact. We have 7 months of content right here. 7 months, because I'm in here every 4 weeks.
Yep.
So if you want to know more, obviously check us out. Give us a call. We're in the final throes of revamping our website, so it's going to be a lot better. But we're enjoying some great growth here over the summer. New people coming in.
Yeah.
And it's been really fun to see people understanding what they're being asked to do, and all of a sudden start seeing success.
Sure, yeah. I wanted to share some of my successes. I had my monthly meeting with Autumn, and I don't have all the exact numbers for you, but I'm down another 3 pounds from the last time, several inches all over this time, and so it works. It works to get moving. It works to change that diet and really start focusing in. And I'll be the first to admit, May has been crazy for me. I knew it was going to be hard, and I still stayed more focused than I would have been without Impact. So I think that's the key, and that's the thing that I've been kind of holding on to. Even though I didn't get there as much as I wish I had, or all of those things, I still having that connection and having Autumn checking in with me and things, it still kept me way more on track than I would have been on my own. and I still, was able to lose. I still was able to do those at-home workouts on those days that I wasn't able to get in because of all the craziness with coaching and all of those things. So I encourage you guys to give it a try. Really come and, like you said, do that first free class. Give them a call and do that assessment and try something out and see if it's for you. I guarantee there's a class that you'll love and want to be a part of, and it's working for me, and so I hope that you guys will join us and it'll work for you as well. So,
and we'll talk a little bit more about this in a couple weeks when Autumn is on talking nutrition, but we're going to have a 6-week challenge starting in the middle of July. So put this on your calendars now.
Yep.
And so even if you're not an athlete with Impact, we're going to roll a 6 to 8 week membership into that challenge to be able to get you not only moving better, but to eating better and living better.
Yep.
So I mean, that's what it's really all about.
Yep. So we're so excited that you guys joined us today and that you are joining in on these 7 primal movement sessions that we're having with you, and we'll continue these, like you said, every month when Scott joins the show, and Autumn will be with us next to talk a little bit about nutrition here in a couple weeks. And every Wednesday we'll have something wellness related to talk to you guys about, and just the importance of that is huge. So thank you guys for joining us. We're going to go to a quick break so that Scott can sneak out of here and go get some more athletes primed up and in shape. And then I have some things to talk to you guys about, Muscatine, some things coming up, and also some new changes at Hy-Vee. So we'll be right back after a commercial from one of our awesome sponsors.
Hello, I'm Tennille with R7 Reclaimed, located in Grandview, Iowa. We mix old and new goods together so that you can find the story of your home. When you get here, you will find a mix of old and new goods that are put together so seamlessly you won't even be able to tell which is which. And not only that, it's going to speak to you and your home. We are worth the road trip. We call it the R7 road trip. So punch in 337 Cemetery Lane, Grandview, Iowa into that GPS and make the road trip.
So the key to success with wellness, Autumn preaches this to us all the time, is that balance. So you can't cut out everything that you love, right? So Ben brought over this gigantic waffle that is new to their brand new breakfast menu that just rolled out yesterday here at Hy-Vee in the Market Grill. Lots of new changes here. So they are now coming out to the table. They're waiting on you again. They have amazing staff here, amazing servers that are coming out and serving you again here at the Market Grill. So things are changing. A brand new, amazing, huge menu of breakfast items that you will just love. This is one of their new items. Look at this berry waffle. It looks amazing. It looks slightly more like a dessert, but it looks delicious for sure. I could probably have like at least a quarter of this, right? I mean, that's balance. And it looks delicious. We were talking about this being Wellness Wednesday and the fact that you have to have balance with wellness. You have to eat some of the things that you love.
I didn't think you had enough nutrition in you, Ashley, just because I seen you over here working out earlier.
I know,
I wanted to make sure we got you taken care of. Look at this
thing. Yum. I was just telling him about how the amazing servers and stuff come out now and actually wait on you at your tables, just like the good old days before that some of the people were used to brand new breakfast menu, gigantic breakfast menu.
It's huge. We just rolled out this week, Ashley, with our brand new breakfast. Everything from the gourmet waffles to gourmet pancakes, French toast, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
The omelets are just amazing. We do have a full wait staff now.
Yep.
So every time you come in for any time between 6 and 2, we will have wait staff on hand. We have a bartender from 6 to 2 now.
Awesome.
So come in, get your mimosas, your waffles.
Love it. This looks delicious. Hanley and Kaylee just had breakfast too. How was it? Thumbs up? Thumbs up. They had breakfast here this morning. They're off on summer break now too, so they're trying
Slackers.
to. I know they're trying to sneak in and have some of that yummy breakfast menu with me. I told them that there was some new items they might want to try. So, awesome things on the breakfast menu for you. You get served at your table, and there's tons of new things for you to try. Plus, I have the video of the fresh squeezed orange juice. So this is also balance. Is this fresh squeezed orange juice that's so healthy and
Muscatine shopper. $45 minutes just to get here for it. You don't want to miss our steak dinner. It's an 8-ounce New York strip, jumbo baked potato, and corn on the cob, guys, for only $8. Dine in or carry out. I would say definitely dine in. That way you can experience the wait staff, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Just tons of great things throughout the store. Awesome sales this weekend going on. And the juice, I'll tell you what, my arms are getting a little tired from juicing that, but I can't lie to you on that, guys. You've seen the awesome new machine we have in here at the Market Grill. Every morning we pop the oranges in. We squeeze fresh every morning for it. We have several locations throughout the store, back in Dairy, the meals ready to eat section right from the Market Grill itself. And then we have a bin set up right outside the Market Grill so they can just grab and go.
Awesome. This is really good. You don't need syrup or anything to go with it.
No.
No. It's amazing.
My favorite one, Ashley, is the Nutella with the bananas on top. It's amazing.
Ben's peeking in over here. Or not Ben, Matt's peeking in. I think he's checking up on you.
He's checking up.
But it's super good, guys. You need to come in and look what I got. Service. Check this out.
That looks good.
Service is really good.
You know what? Ben never buys me breakfast.
Well, you're not quite this cute, Matt. Sorry.
I'm out of here.
All right, guys, we're so excited that you joined us. I hope you come out and have breakfast with me one morning. I'm here Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday. This beautiful face.
Look at this. And you can come and have one of these berry waffles. It's really good. You should try it.
And Ashley won't make you work out before you eat.
Yeah, you don't have to work out before you eat if you don't want to, for sure. If you want to, though, come on Wellness Wednesday, and then we could work out, and then you could have breakfast.
I think we ought to have a class right here in the market.
That sounds awesome. Let's do it.
Okay.
Sounds good. We'll get that on the calendar. Thanks for coming in, and thanks for breakfast this morning.
Absolutely.
I love it. Yummy. So we're going to go to another quick commercial from one of our awesome sponsors, and then just a few more things I have to update you going on here in Muscatine, and then we'll cut you loose for the day.
We just don't work out in a single plane of motion.
All right, so I'm going to round things up for you, but I wanted to let you know that yesterday was the kickoff of Get Your Rear in Gear. This year it is virtual, so I just wanted to remind you, you still have time to sign up for that. Angie said she has some shirts left at the hospital that she can give you if you want to sign up and still wear the gear when you're out walking or running or just moving however you choose. So get a hold of her at the hospital and she can hook you up with that. Get signed up online, Get Your Rear in Gear, and just type in Get Your Rear in Gear, Muscatine, you'll find it, and you can get signed up still and just be connected to the community and raise awareness for colon cancer and just be supportive. I think this event is amazing. We're sad it had to be virtual this year, but next year it'll be even bigger and better and in person. So make sure you guys get signed up for that. There's still a chance, so do that today. Lutheran Living, reminder is today is leave the office early day. So don't tell your bosses that you heard that here, but it's a national holiday. So I had to let you know that it is what it is. It's right there in the calendar. So don't tell your boss you heard it here, but that is the national holiday for you guys to celebrate today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate you so much, and we will be back tomorrow with another great guest, another great show to share with you all. Until then, though, remember that kindness is free. So spread that stuff wherever you go.
Here at Toyota Muscatine, we believe it's important to be strong supporters of our local community.
And that's why we donate thousands upon thousands of dollars to local Muscatine charities each year.
It's the reason why all of our employees are local to the area and have a vested interest in our community.
Even Daisy and Dilly keep it local by visiting the local dog park.
So remember, when you shop Toyota Muscatine, you're not only sure to get great service, but you're here also supporting local.